And we're live! Huzzah! Sorry I am late. I had to use a different browser than I expected to. So, yeah, Google Chrome was just being really weird, so I couldn't access the Google Hangouts through it. It like wasn't accessing my camera or something. So, yeah, it was just being really weird. I don't know. Technology, it's not my friend. I have learned just time and time again. This laptop that I'm using right now, I actually got for free because a week after getting a laptop, it broke on me. So I kind of went to the Apple store and I was like crying. So the guy there was really nice and was just like, you know what? Even though it says it's water damage, which isn't really covered, I know it wasn't water damage, so I'm just gonna talk to my supervisor and give you this laptop for free because a week ago you paid for a new laptop. Um, Fun times, super fun times. I don't like technology. I don't know why I have everything Apple because it's just not my friend. It's not. Yeah. Ooh, we have one viewer right now. But yeah, where was I going with this? Yeah, technology is not my friend, which is why this hangout is starting 8 minutes late. But hello to one single viewer who is watching. How are you today? I'm a little bit nervous. I've never done this before. I was on Paul Roth's channel for a couple of live things. One of them was his New Year's live show, which was nice because I was just kind of chilling and it was a big group, which was nice. And then there was, what was it? What was going on? His Paul and YouTube in the morning talk show, like morning talk show sort of deal. And that didn't work out as well because he went offline, but I was still online, but I did not realize that I was still online. So it was weird to say the least. It just was not the most fun time in the world. I mean, it was nice to be invited and to be on, but what wasn't fun was like what wasn't fun was sitting on my computer not realizing that I was still live and just eating blueberries. So if you go on Paul's channel, if you go back a few weeks, you will see me eating blueberries for 3 minutes straight. It's a good time if you want to watch me eating blueberries after, not realizing that I was still live. I'm trying to get to the, oh, I have a link. Wow. I was trying to get to the YouTube thing to see if anyone's talking. And I forgot that I had a link. So yeah. Oh, Omar is here. Hi, Omar. NerdCon was great. It was a really great time, except for the fact that I kind of got pretty sick and wasn't able to go to the concert on the Saturday night, and I missed the podcast recording, which I don't really listen to the podcast that much, so I was kind of okay with that. And my friend got to go and she listens all the time. But yeah, I still have the wristband on, mostly because I just couldn't be bothered to take it off. And also, I don't really want to say goodbye to NerdCon because it was just a really great time, even though I got sick and threw up at Wagamama. My apologies to Wagamama in Boston for throwing up in your restaurant. I was trying to run to the bathroom and then my body just, I'm sorry, this is getting gross. I'm not gonna do this. Yeah, the blueberries are pretty great. It was a good time. I really like fruit. Although I bought a fruit juice today and it's blackberry, plum, and grape, and I really like plums and grapes. So I was like, oh, this will be good. I'll buy it. I'll drink it. And it just tastes really bad. But now I feel obligated to finish it because I spent $3 on it. New York prices. Everything is overpriced. Dwayne Reed sucks. No, I love you, Dwayne Reed. Don't kill me or sue me. I don't know. What am I saying anymore? I have a plan for this. Okay, so like so the first few minutes of this, we're gonna be introduction, a thank you, and get started on things. But apparently not. So if you're joining me from God knows where, and you don't know who I am, my name is Nurali, aka Fireword Sparkler, and I run this YouTube channel, Fireword Sparkler. I live in New York. It's a good time, and I just got 500 subscribers, which is why I'm doing a live show. And I don't seem to be very good at it, but who knows? Who knows? Being good at things is relative, right? Right? Okay. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel and I talk about social commentary and stuff. And now I feel like you know me so well now, if you're just joining me and have no idea who I am. So I'm going to talk more about NerdCon. My favorite part of NerdCon was probably the Women in Nerdfighteria panel, and it was right after the opening ceremonies, which was nice. It had all of my favorite people. It had like Megan Tonjes, Haley G. Hoover, Nerdy and Quirky, Akil Hughes, light of my life. I love that she's doing so much more with YouTube now. I'm so happy she's healthy and doing things. And yeah, it's a good time. I did not see the Road to Nerdfighteria panel, unfortunately. I missed that one, but I did record a Road to Nerdfighteria, a quick Road to Nerdfighteria after registration on Friday, which was nice. Although I was like feeling kind of crappy then, so I was significantly less verbose than I usually am, unfortunately. So I kind of want to make my own Road to Nerdfighteria video since I'm feeling significantly better now, and I feel like I can talk a lot more about it. Yeah, so I missed the Road to Nerdfighteria panel, but I saw their video and I was kind of crying during it, not gonna lie. It was great. I saw it after the fact, but yeah, Road to Nerdfighteria is a great channel. Admittedly, I don't keep in I say don't keep in touch, but I don't watch their channel a lot. Like, I'm not religious about it like I am with other channels, but I do really like their content, and it's such a great collaborative celebration of Nerdfighteria, which was kind of the theme of the whole weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna actually drink this now because I need something to drink. It's kind of better, but it's still bitter. So I don't know how much I like it. Yeah, but what was I talking about before? Women in Nerdfighteria was great. Who else was on it? I said Haley G. Hoover, Akila Hughes, Megan Tonjes, Nerdy and Quirky, Rosianna. How could I forget Rosianna, light of my life? I love her so much. Rosianna's my favorite. Yeah, so they had a really, really great panel talking about a lot of things. And I just really liked what they talked about. I mean, I just like all of those people, and having all of my faves in one room together was pretty damn nice. And I also really loved the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text panel, and it's now my favorite podcast. I had never heard of it before. My friend Kelly, who was with me, was going to the John Cozart signing, and I didn't get a signing. I didn't even sign up for signings, I don't think. But so she was going to the John Cozart signing, and I was kind of by myself. And I think like the Christina Horner's writing thing was going on at the same time. So I was like trying to get into that, and I didn't. And then I was like, oh, well, Harry Potter and the Sacred Text sounds cool. Let me go. And it is amazing. Oh my God. I just finished episode 6, so chapter 6 of Sorcerer's Stone. And that was fantastic. If you don't know what Harry Potter and the Sacred Text is, it's reading Harry Potter as if it were a sacred text, like reading it the way you read the Bible or the Torah or something. And the people who are doing the podcast are in divinity school, I think, or were in divinity school and are like chaplains now or something. So they're really cool people who are really knowledgeable about this stuff. And but they like make it so that their content is still accessible, which I really love. And I just, the English major in me is like bursting with joy at this podcast, at this the discovery of this podcast. And I also really love the religious aspect of it, even though, you know, they're not Jain, they're Christian. And well, one of them was raised Jewish, or no, one of them is Jewish and the other one was raised Christian, but isn't, but they're spiritual still. But yeah, really great podcast. I highly recommend it. And their panel was awesome. We went over the first line of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone if you're British. And that was really great. And Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Perfect Drive have to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. Yeah, great panel. Really great podcast. Oh, Gemma's here. Hi, Gemma. Hi. Sorry, I'm not checking the chat enough clearly. Any other podcast tracks? I don't listen to too many podcasts, unfortunately. I kind of binge podcast. I like binge listen podcasts. Like I'll take a week and listen to like one podcast, and then I'll kind of take a break from podcasts, mostly because I like listening to music so much, and like reading while listening to music. So I don't listen to podcasts that much, unfortunately. I do listen to Dear Hank and John every so often. I watch What the Sweet Fuck with Megan Tonjes and Nicola Foti, aka Soundly Awake. They are amazing. If you don't watch Megan Tonjes and Soundly Awake just like loving / shitting on each other, it's a great podcast if you just want to watch friends hanging out, kind of. Yeah, Megan and Nick are people that like I've watched for years, and then they started a podcast together and I was like, oh, this is my new favorite thing, basically. But yeah, unfortunately, no other podcast tracks. I occasionally listen to Dear Hank and John, like I said. I do have a podcast track. I don't listen to the podcast, I watch it because they also have a YouTube channel, but Reality Bites is a podcast with Stephanie Beatriz and her best friend, whose name I forget. Whoops. But Stephanie Beatriz plays Rosa on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So if you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and you like Rosa and want to watch her face, she's awesome. So they have they're two best friends, and they have a podcast talking about relationships. And it's Reality Bites, but the bites is with a Y because technology. So their whole thing is like relationships in the technological world and like the digital age, I think is their tagline. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, loving / shitting on each other is the ultimate friendship. I agree. I completely agree with that. But yeah, Reality Bites is great. They've had amazing guests on, like Gabby Dunn from Just Between Us. Took me a second to remember. Why do I know Gabby Dunn? Just Between Us, right. And Alison Raskin has also been on. The girl from The Nightly Show, not Jessica Ramsey, but what's her name? Her name is also, it's Grace. Her name is Grace. I remember because like they just had Grace Helbig on, and then the week before they had Grace Parra. That's her name, Grace Parra from The Nightly Show. Yeah. And it's awesome. And they have really great guests. And they also had their therapist on once, which was really funny. Yeah, it does sound like modern romance. I love that book. I listened to that book because I love Aziz Ansari, and I wanted to hear his voice while listening to the book. Yeah, it's not as grounded in like facts as the book is. It's far more of just talking about like their relationships and like their past and kind of how they work. And yeah, it's pretty great though. Yeah, you should definitely start it if you haven't already. And it's just, sometimes it's really funny because like I like watch it after like binging Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the millionth time, and then like I watch Stephanie Beatriz in real life, and like her voice is so much higher, and She is not like Rosa at all, and it's just like really funny sometimes. Yeah, it's a great podcast though. I really enjoyed it. Oh, who's here? Oh, hi. Hi, Pelon X8. What's your real name again? Oh my god. I like you. It's like I remember your name, but like, oh my god, this is gonna take me a minute. I know it's on Twitter somewhere. Apologies for not remembering your name, but hi, you've been around forever. You're great. You're one of the people that got me up to 500 subscribers. What am I at now? 519 subscribers. That's insane to me. That's crazy. It makes me super happy. But yeah. So I guess I do listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to far more than I think I do, mostly because I watch podcasts because I'm like, oh, extended YouTube show, basically, like extended YouTube video, which I find weird because like now YouTube videos are consistently over 10 minutes long, where like 4 years ago that would have been unheard of. So I kind of like that we're going into long form more. I just think it's an interesting shift that like we're going from short form to slightly more long form. And I don't know if that trend is going to continue, because I know a lot of YouTubers are starting to make podcasts or have podcasts and stuff already. And it's just interesting because they clearly like the long form media, but it's great. Ooh, Gemma asks, what's the hardest thing about growing your subscriber count? Exactly that. I feel like every time I'm like past a milestone number, like 400 or like 300 or something, I get into this like in between place where like for months I'm just not growing at all. Even like I could like gain 5 subscribers in like a month and then lose 3, and then I'm like, well, I just like went down even though my net profit of subscribers is up. It's just like kind of staying encouraged despite not growing as fast as you maybe want to, because like some part of me is always like, if I could just do more, or if I could just do better or be better or have this gear or this equipment, I could have 1,000 subscribers by this point. Even though having 500 subscribers is like clearly amazing and really nice. And like I am eternally grateful to all of you who are here, but like some part of me is always like, you could be better, you could do better. Why aren't you better already? Like if only you did this 3 years ago, you would be at 1 million subscribers, stupid things like that. It's like kind of ignoring that voice in your head and just continuing despite that, because a lot of like a lot of the things I have to overcome is like stopping myself from thinking about what I could have done and what I should have done before, and like just continuing now. But yeah, I work really hard for my subscribers, I like to think. I've been trying to make really great content, and I've been trying to do like better thumbnails and caption all my videos now, and I'm just continuously trying to do better, and like I'm learning how to edit better, which is fun. It's a really fun challenge. So it's also consistently like trying to be better. Yeah. What's this? Will you be doing regular vinyl unboxings? I think so. Yes. I actually have 2 vinyl boxes that I want to open. Kind of because I was telling my sister this. She's like, oh, why do you open those yet? Like they're just sitting like in the boxes, like on your table. And I'm like, oh, lol, I'm gonna open them on camera because I got quite a few views on those. I was surprised at the amount of views I got from that. And it made me really happy because it's a low effort video that I can just like put up. And clearly people like it. Obviously it's not my regular content, and I don't want like unboxings to be like like the content I become, but it's a nice break, and I only have it for another month. So, and I don't think I'm going to renew it just because like I feel like I have enough right now, and I feel like now I have like enough background in, you know, records and vinyl that I can just shop around on my own and I'd be fine. But I think, again, vinyl is a great service. So I'm gonna do, yeah, like 2 more unboxing videos, and like one for this month and one for next month. And then like, I think that'll be it, unless like I like have the means to renew my subscription, and then I'll do it again. I'll do more. But yeah, I'm like trying to limit it so that it's only once a month and it doesn't become like the majority of my videos, or like I don't have like 3 videos in a row that are like that, you know, because I think I have more to offer to the world than that. Yeah. Is there anything that you want to try on your channel that you feel hesitant about, like a different style video to what you usually do? Yeah, actually, right now I'm in the process of editing this travel vlog series that like I have been planning on for months. So I went to Iceland last year in July, like July 4th week, like that week. So I went to Iceland and I took a lot of footage, and like I've just been really like lazy and like hesitant about editing it and putting it up on my channel, mostly because like the person I watch the most who like does like travel content is Gunnarolla, and his content is just like absolutely amazing. And like I know he has an assistant and I know he has great equipment, and obviously like I can't do what he does. Sorry about the light, by the way. It's probably like yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, I like know that I can't do what he does, but I still want to, and I like want to be as good as that before I like put up this like series of travel videos. But I think I just have to like again shut up that voice in my head and like just do it, kind of like be like Nike, just do it. Yeah, whoa, can't wait to see the Iceland video. Oh, hey, Katrina. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I also met Katrina at NerdCon. Katrina Ames, if you don't know, is fabulous. Oh, the lighting makes me look like an angel. Thank you. Oh. Yeah, we can't all be Gunnarolla. Yeah, basically, we can't all be Gunnarolla. Also, Katrina Ames is a sweetheart, basically. She's gonna do daily videos for Lent, and I'm so excited. I'm just so excited to watch her videos every day. She already has like a fairly daily vlog that I don't keep up with because I don't really watch vlogging videos that much. But I'm looking forward to like her regular channel videos being daily because she has such amazing content and amazing thoughts, and I can't wait to watch it. And also I did a collab with her, and it's my first collab in over a year, in a very long time. I think the last like collab I did that's like one on our channel, one on my channel, one on your channel sort of deal is was with Kirby, and that was ages ago. Yeah, wow. It's been a while since I hang out with him too. Whoops. Gotta text him or something. But yeah, Katrina's great too if you want a lot of content. She posts so much great content. Like, she's fantastic. I can't recommend her videos enough. And she talks about like she like talks about politics, but like also pop culture and all my favorite things. I love how all my favorite things are basically politics and pop culture. But yeah, she talks about like tons of stuff that run the gamut of everything, and she's really great. I love you, Katrina. It was really great meeting you in real life at NerdCon. So it's one of my favorite things about NerdCon. Like, you just see people that like you've seen online or that you like kind of know, but then like you see them in real life and like it's like, okay, like real friendship established. Although, I mean, a real friendship isn't required. like you don't need to like be physically together to have a real friendship anymore, which is great. But it's nice to have that. It's nice to like actually see each other. Yeah, good times. Yeah, best of luck, Katrina. That's hard. I tried to do it during Dear December and did not work out well. I understand why people stop at like by Christmas. Like they do like 20 days or 23 days of Vlogmas, and then like December 24th comes and they're like, nope, no more videos. Because my family's really intense about Christmas and just spending time together. And it was a bad idea to promise daily videos. At that time, but Lent seems like a good time. There's not a lot going on like now, so I don't know. If I were to do daily vlogs, I feel like I would, or like daily videos, not vlogs, because vlogs mean something else than they used to. I would probably do it now-ish or in May. Maybe. We'll see if I do Create every day in May. Who knows? I know I said in the State of the Sparkler that I might not, but like my mind's kind of like going toward it again, mostly because I'm not taking a lot of classes this semester, so I have a little more time, but we'll see. Who knows? And I like creating things. I made that right there. That's a snowflake that's been up there since December. Oh, I made a video about that, right? DIY 3D snowflake. Check it out if you want to. Shameless plug. I'm absolutely shameless with the plugs. Am I coming to VidCon? No, I am not coming to VidCon, Omar, unless I get chosen for the Less Than Famous panel, which maybe I will. Who knows? But unfortunately, I'm not coming to VidCon. Otherwise, it's just not in my budget and on my schedule. Yeah, I really want to go to VidCon, but like also I kind of don't. Just like the way I've heard VidCon described, especially since I've been to both NerdCon Stories, the first one, and NerdCon Nerdfighteria, it seems like such a different environment. And when I went to Comic-Con at Javits Center in New York, I did not have the greatest time because it was so big and so like just massive and sprawling, and there were so many people everywhere, and that wasn't really the environment for me. I think if I'd gone with a friend to Comic-Con, it may have been better. But like when I went to NerdCon Stories, I went by myself, and that was totally fine, except for the part where I briefly lost my phone and kind of freaked out. But there were really nice security guards there, and I got my phone back. So yeah, it just seems like too big of an environment for me, even though I'm pretty extroverted. Yeah, it just seems like a really big environment. So I'm not sure if I would particularly like that. Like, even though I am a fangirl, I'm not like that much of a fangirl where I'm not going crazy over big YouTubers basically either. So like, I just don't feel like it's the place for me necessarily, unless, I'm on a panel, in which case it would be the place for me, obviously. I would love to go to VidCon, but not for the reasons that a lot of people would love to go to VidCon, I guess. I would be on the creator track, which again is more expensive. So yeah, very long answer to that question, but short answer, no. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I have like notes for like what to say if I don't know what to say. Another one of my favorite parts was when John Green started crying at the closing ceremonies, because literally everyone in the room was crying as well. I wouldn't say it was great. Oh, Yolanda. Oh, thank you, Yolanda. I love you. Come back to YouTube. I know you're off in podcast world, but I love you. It's great. Yeah, Yolanda has a podcast, if you don't know, called something Pemberley. I don't remember, but it's about like the Lizzie Bennet Diaries and like web series and stuff. And I haven't listened to it yet because I'm terrible, but yeah, I love Yolanda. You should listen to her. Yeah, thanks, Yolanda. I love you to death. Okay, maybe not to death. That was a little far. Describe my ideal convention. Oh gosh, me chilling at home, talking to people. A board games night is like my ideal convention. Not a lot of people, but like having fun. I guess like convention wise, my ideal convention would be one where I could go to every single panel that I like, which I wasn't able to do, even at NerdCon, Nerdfighteria. But yeah, my ideal convention. One thing I really wanted out of this convention that wasn't there, I think, like probably the only thing I think was missing was I know at VidCon they do like a woman on YouTube like workshop sort of deal, and I like really wanted that at this con. So like that, yeah, I think just a lot of in-depth discussions about things. That's what I want. I want really in-depth and interesting discussions. Like I went to BookCon, which is like kind of part of BEA. It's more of like the fan half of BEA, and like the most interesting part for me was when Mindy Kaling and Aziz Ansari were just talking to each other about like writing and their books and like kind of how they work. Was it Mindy Kaling and Aziz Ansari? Am I being racist to myself? No, I think okay, I don't remember if Aziz Ansari was talking to Mindy Kaling, but they both had like, no, it was BJ Novak and Mindy Kaling talking to each other. And Aziz Ansari talking to someone else, but they were both talking. Like they were like, it was just like 2 or 3 people on stage in discussion with each other. And I really enjoy those panels where they're talking to just in depth to each other. Yeah, just really interesting in-depth conversations. And that's why I loved Harry Potter as a Sacred Text as like a spot at like as a panel. It was just such an interesting panel, and now it's my new favorite podcast. What's going on? Yeah, my ideal convention being just like a board game night. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. What else is there on my little list? Oh, I have like, oh, thank you, Itsubong. Thank you so much for saying congratulations. I'm very happy. But like my next thing on my list of like NerdCon overview, because I tend to meticulously plan these things, is like, it just says how I got sick, lol. Yeah, so I got sick. I think I really scared Kelly, who's the friend I went with, because on Saturday, okay, so like on Thursday night, like the night before we left, like I was just feeling like crap. So, but then like the next morning I was like, okay, so like I packed everything and like we went to the bus and like I was pretty much fine. I was like kind of feeling low, but like not like absolute crap anymore. And then the next day so then that was Friday. And then on Saturday, I literally couldn't walk like more than maybe 20 steps without like being out of breath. It was really bad. Yeah, so then I was like, but like I was still like, no, I'm gonna power through. I'm just gonna like sit at these panels. I also barely ate, which wasn't fun. I had like 0 appetite, but it was a good time. So then like after like trying to power through, it was like 4 p.m. and we were about to sit for lunch and I just like could not eat. And then, yeah, I threw up. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going back to the Airbnb and sleeping. And then I slept from like 4 till 9:30 at night. And then we watched Road to El Dorado together after Kelly got back from the concert. So yeah, that's my how I got sick lol story. Also, thank you so much to Kelly for just kind of being there and like helping me out, and like also like not kind of being annoyed at me for being sick, because there are certain people that would be annoyed if like there are certain people I've traveled with who would be annoyed with me getting sick. Ooh, where would you travel if you were handed a blank airline ticket? Peru. like right off the bat, Peru. Also Paris, but like I really want to climb Machu Picchu and like go to Peru and experience Peru. That's like been like #1 on my list for so long, like forever. Like I just really want to go to Peru. And I think like I'm gonna try to convince my parents for that to be our next family trip, because they're both still healthy and can hike and stuff. So yeah, mom and dad, if you're watching, let's go to Peru. They're not watching. They're probably asleep right now because they're in India. Oh no, they're traveling. They're doing a jatra around Ahmedabad, which is in Gujarat. It's the capital. Yes, it's the capital of Gujarat. So they're doing a jatra there. So they're going to all the temples around there, which is really cool. Yeah, I also, it's weird because like the little climbing experience I have is because of pilgrimages. Like I've climbed a mountain to see the temple at the top. I've done that multiple times. I've done multiple mountains. Yeah, but so maybe a non-religious mountain it should be my next trip, Machu Picchu. But yeah, definitely Peru. I also really want to go to Paris, but am I from Gujarat? I am Gujarati. I'm not like actually from Gujarat, but yeah, Gujju pride, yo. Gotta love being Gujju. My whole family is Gujarati, but my parents grew up in Bombay and then moved here. So I'm pretty like far from my Gujju roots, but I'm still Gujju. Like I still like Dandiya and Ras and Garba and all that good stuff. I actually almost joined the Ras team at my university, but I made it to the second round of tryouts and then I didn't get in, unfortunately. And then I joined a Bollywood team and it was good. But yeah, Gujju pride, yo. Oh, you're Gujju and Latino. That's so interesting. Lols. That's like an interesting combination because just they're two very, very strong, two very strong cultures. I feel like Gujarati culture is very interesting and very strong. And like, I guess because both my parents are Gujju and like, we're very Indian for not living in India. Like we are pretty darn Gujju, so it's nice. And Latina culture is just so rich and so interesting. So that's such an interesting combination. That sounds really cool. Yeah. Let's see what else I have on my list. Oh, what's next for me is like the next thing on my list. So do you guys want to hear about like upcoming videos and stuff, or just like what I'm doing later? Like, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys want to hear from me? You want to hear more about being Gujarati? I can't really speak Gujarati well at all. Like I can like barely get by, like I can barely get through a 5-minute conversation with the grandparents that don't know about that like don't know English. So that's like 2 of my grandparents can't really speak English. All of them understand English, which is nice, although 2 of them like less so it's just easier to speak in Gujarati, but I'm not good at speaking in Gujarati. Yes, please tell us about upcoming videos. Okay, so let me open up my little spreadsheet over here and see what I can talk about. Oh, so my next video, I was planning on filming it this morning, but my doctor's appointment ran a little long, is about being critical, and I'm going to be invoking Bollywood, like old Bollywood and Orientalism and like interesting things about like being critical of media, and it's about like whether or not you can still enjoy media while being critical about it. And I think it's pretty obvious what my answer is to that. Yes, obviously you can be critical of media and like enjoy it and still enjoy it. Oh my god, you only know the bad words in the greetings. I don't even know the bad words in Gujarati. I'm like, it's so bad. Like I don't even know the bad words. I only know like the greetings, yes, and I know the prayers, which aren't even like aren't even in Gujarati. They're in like some ancient language that's like not Sanskrit. It's like post-Sanskrit, pre-Gujarati. Like that's the language like Jain prayers are in. So yeah, I I don't even know the bad words. But yeah, what else is next for me? So yeah, being critical, and I'm gonna be talking about Bollywood and stuff. And I've been working on that script for ages. And yeah, it's gonna be like I think a 6-minute-ish video. I like timed myself saying it because sometimes I get anal about those things. And I'm pretty excited about it just because I'm gonna finally be filming it like probably tomorrow. Yeah. And it's about like old Bollywood, but also just in general being critical. I think I like talking about Bollywood when I'm talking about media, because it's just hard for other people to argue with me because like I love you all, but not a lot of you know about Bollywood that much, which is nice because I can like talk about something with like somewhat of expertise without like putting that pressure, like I guess like putting less pressure on myself, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, I had to like refresh the thing, so I don't know if you guys are talking in the chat still, but yeah, that's my next video. And then also I'm gonna be doing a mental health update hopefully soon, because I got like quite a lot has happened since December when I last updated you guys on that. And I think it's important to talk about, and it's important to kind of lessen the stigma and all that good stuff. I have like a list of videos to make in 2017. I also have to shoot a book review. That was supposed to go up last week, but that didn't happen, clearly. For the book Anna and the Swallow Man, which I'm super excited about. Yeah, Anna and the Swallow Man's a great book about like World War II in the eyes of a girl who's like growing up, but also it's like not your typical World War II story because I was gonna say it's not your typical World War II story because it's about isolation, and then like my mind just went, Anne Frank, it's all about isolation. But it feels a lot like the Deathly Hallows, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, just like the feel of that book. So it's going to be interesting to talk about. It's going to be a good time. Also, later in the year, yeah, I have, oh my God, how many videos do I have planned in this? Like, it's a pretty large Google Doc of videos I want to make. I'm going to do a series about the New Jersey gubernatorial race because Chris Christie is out. I'm so excited that Chris Christie is out, which is nice. Oh, Gemma's asking, are there anything you want to learn and make a video about that you haven't gotten around to yet? That's the issue with a lot of my Jainism videos. Like there are so many videos about Jainism that I want to make, but like are hard to because I haven't done the due diligence of like making sure I'm doing it right. That's like, it's the hard part about that because like I have a lot of knowledge, which I talked about in my Practicing Jainism in America video, but it's hard to say that like I've done it. Like it's hard to say that like I am being educational about the subject unless like after like my prior knowledge, I've also like researched it and vetted my knowledge a little bit. So yeah, it's easier for me to make personal videos about that than like slightly more educational videos. I think those are a lot harder for me, but I'm always looking to learn more. Yeah, what else is there? I think you guys already know I'm doing a second vinyl unboxing. That's also there. But speaking of Jainism videos, the next Jainism video that I want to make, which I actually wanted to make, but which has actually been on my list before the Practicing Jainism in America video, is a video about meditation in Jainism and kind of how it works, because I think it's pretty different from how meditation works in other cultures or how people assume meditation works. especially because meditation is so tied into yoga for some people. And like meditation in Jainism kind of has nothing to do with that, because yoga is a very Hindu practice. And they're two different religions, which people still don't understand. Am I bitter? Do I sound bitter about some things, like the Judeo-Christian world that we live in and the assumptions people make about Eastern religions? Am I bitter? Who knows? I'm also planning on watching a lot of Jane the Virgin, because I want to make a video called Jane the Virgin, reacting to like the little bit of Jainism talked about in talking about like the representation of Jainism in that one show, which is like the only show I've ever heard of that has Jainism in it. Ooh, I do have a Jainism question. What is the difference between Arhat in Jainism compared to an Arhat in Buddhism? See, this is where I run into issues. I don't know nearly enough about Buddhism to answer that question. And like, by Arhat, I'm assuming you mean like an Arihant, because that's what I call it, and that's the way I learned it. So like an Arihant is an enlightened one, who doesn't necessarily have to be like the number one enlightened one, because those are Tirthankars, and Tirthankars are like a kind of Arihant, but yeah, not bitter at all, but yoga irks me. Yeah, but like that's kind of my off the cuff answer to that. I just don't know enough about other religions to like definitively have an answer for a question like that, which is a lot of the problem I run into with Jainism videos, because people ask me questions about other religions too, and I don't have that background, because I studied for 10 years, I studied Jainism every Friday night. I did not do the same with Buddhism or Christianity or Judaism or Hinduism or anything like that. Although I do have a little bit more background in Christianity, because I live in a Judeo-Christian society and Judaism. And I have a little bit of background in Hinduism because I like read the Ramayana, but I also read an English translation of the Ramayana. So you like run into issues there, because it's an English translation written by like a white person. So like you run into issues of like how much of like their background are they putting onto the translation versus how much of it is the original text, and I'm still not sure how to answer that. So yeah. Have I read Orientalism? I actually have Orientalism by Edward Said. If you guys don't know, Orientalism is like a really, really influential text of like how we now discuss kind of Eastern societies and Eastern cultures versus the way it used to be taught. And yeah, I have read the Introduction to Orientalism multiple times because of school, and that introduced me to the book, which is really great. It's really great when you get professors who teach Orientalism, I think. And then I've read some of it on my own, but it's really hard for me to get through because I just prefer fiction and narrative. It's my fatal flaw, preferring narrative forms to like, I guess, more academic forms of writing. But yeah, I've read parts of Orientalism. I have not finished that book. It is sitting on my shelf, just begging to be read, but I haven't read all of it. But yeah, it's an excellent text. And I think it's definitely a foundational text for if you want to talk about Eastern cultures, or even just non-Western cultures in the media. Like, even if you want to talk about African culture and the way it's portrayed, I think it's important to read Orientalism because it outlines kind of the ideas of how people talk about it. Yeah. You should hear the debates in my film class. Yeah, I kind of want to take a film class. I've never taken a film class before. Although we were talking the other day in my class about authorship, we were just like talking before class started about the whole Ghost in the Shell thing and the whole Doctor Strange thing. And there's this white guy talking with me. Yeah, I feel like you know where this is going to. Oh, and I find the concept of self-exoticism very interesting. Yeah, I like that's like the number one thing that I'm afraid to do is fall into the trap of self-exoticism. Because like I love my culture very much, but I'm also the product of multiple cultures. And I know how like I don't know if the way I think about my culture, yeah, grr for Ghost in the Shell, I agree. Like I don't know if like the way I think about my culture and my religion is kind of idealized because I've also lived in another culture. Like, yeah, it's a hard thing. But yeah, talking about Ghost in the Shell, like his argument was like, for Doctor Strange at least, his argument was like, well, the director apologized and he thought that just like whitewashing this character and making it a white woman would be more empowering than making a dragon lady character. And I was like, I've read that article too. It's still BS. It's still BS. That's my opinion on Ghost in the Shell and whitewashing in general. I mean, Doctor Strange. I haven't seen either, but yeah. Hey, didn't know about the live stream. Always wanted to know what you study. Hey, I study English, and it's a good time. I was actually in a liberal studies program, and then I like transitioned into the English major. So I've done a lot of like cultural readings. Like we had this class we had to take called Cultural Foundations and Social Foundations, 2 different classes. So like I've read a lot of like philosophy and culture and stuff too. Which is fun. It was a good time. It was a lot of reading and a lot of writing, and I was kind of miserable, but like I gained a lot from it, so it was a good thing. But yeah, I'm an English major, so you know, reading texts like Shakespeare, a lot of Shakespeare. Actually, I feel like not enough Shakespeare, which is weird for me to say, but yeah, quite a bit of Shakespeare and like Dickens and like all those British writers, all the British writers. I was super excited because this semester, I had to drop this class, but we were going to read Pride and Prejudice. But I had to drop the class because of reasons that are bureaucratic and nonsense. But yeah, yes, I am an English major. It's a good time. I enjoy it for the most part. I'm really enjoying my classes now since I'm taking like senior seminars and stuff. So like this authorship class is really interesting because we're using this like computer program to get word frequencies of texts and like understand and like try to like glean something out of that from you know, try to like glean something like philosophical or literary from like a word frequency list, which is interesting. And it's really cool how it can like so quickly it can so quickly tell the difference between 2 different authors or 2 different books by the same author, which is crazy to me. Like we keep doing these like runs of the Bronte sisters, which is cool. What's the most random thing that happened to you in the last 48 hours? 48 hours. So that's like this morning, yesterday, and the day before. Well, day before yesterday, I went to this game night that was pretty random. I just kind of decided to go spur of the moment, which was really fun. And then I ended up staying at the game night till midnight, which I did not mean to do. But it was a lot of fun. It was random because it was like this group of people I hadn't really been around before. Like the only person I knew there really was Kelly, and who is my friend who went with me to NerdCon, and she's like my best friend basically. So like the only person I knew there was Kelly, but she had to leave, and I was like, you know what? I want to play this other game, so I'm just gonna stay with these like 3 random people who are my new friends, which was nice. We played what's it called? Wizard School, which is the new game from TBA Records. They were selling it at NerdCon, and Kelly bought it, so then we played it. Fun story. What else is random that happened to me? I don't know. You guys don't want to know about my goings on with the MTA, my daily war with the Metropolitan Transit Authority. The New York City subway system hates me, basically. That's the story there. they don't want me to get places on time. Yeah. So I think I'll just go back to talking about what's on for the later this month and maybe this year. Oh, one thing I'm super excited about is I think I mentioned before that Chris Christie's going, and there's a gubernatorial election for New Jersey, and it's like my first time actually paying attention to it. So I kind of want to make 3 videos about it, kind of a primer right before the primary on June 6th, and then maybe a kind of check-in / update video in August, and then a second primer video in November, right before Election Day, which is November 7th. Go vote. Go vote for Democrats, please. And there's this really interesting candidate out there. Yeah, they do have a really great, they have a really great transport system. I really shouldn't shit on it as much as I do, but yeah, Jersey's great too. I'm from Jersey. I love Jersey. And it's really easy to get to Jersey because of the PATH train. Yeah, no, New York has a great transit system. Just sometimes I'm in a rush and I get frustrated. But yeah, I'm really excited about these gubernatorial election videos. Would I ever run for local government though? I don't know. That's a hard one. Because sometimes I kind of treat myself as if if I'm doing something and I'm sometimes I ask myself before doing something okay, but if you were ever to run for something, would you want this out there? And if I say, yeah, I don't care, then I'll do it. And if I say no, then I won't do it. So sometimes I think of myself kind of I think of myself as a political / public person, which is, I guess, a politician, but I don't know if I would run for local government, mainly because I just don't know. I don't think I know enough about local government, which is kind of why I want to do the New Jersey gubernatorial election stuff. But I just don't, I don't know. It's something I think about and then I say no. And then I say, well, and then I say no again. So I think I just want more experience in life and I want to have a real job and stuff before. In the context of using a GOP kit. Oh, well then, yes, if I'm able to. Yes. Unless, see, the thing is, I don't, right now, obviously, I'm very, very much against Republicans, but I haven't always been, I just don't, I don't think, I guess I didn't think that the Republican Party was as corrupt as it is and as terrible as it is, but I have a lot of respect for certain Republican ideals. I feel I'm very much I guess I can I'm still friends with Republican people, which I know is bad, but there are people who voted for Gary Johnson and wouldn't have ever voted for Hillary Clinton in the first place. So it's fine. They don't support Trump, obviously, but I'm still friends with right-winged people because I still respect certain ideas that they have, even though I understand that there are bigger things in the world right now than those there are more important things happening in the world than their ideas are important. It's I wouldn't prioritize, well, my insurance is going up more than, well, people are dying without Obamacare sort of deal. Yeah. So yeah, I still have, I guess, I'm very quickly losing respect for establishment Republican Party, but if the Republican Party makes a comeback and is better in say 5 years, I don't know that I would run against a GOP candidate who is running unopposed, unless they're all kinds of horrible. It just depends on the situation, is what I'm saying. Imagine people complexly and Imagine the world complexly. Hashtag complexly. Yeah. Politics. It's fun. Yeah, like while I consider myself a Democrat, and very much a Democrat, I still respect certain Republicans, I would say. I have zero respect for the establishment Republican Party as it is now, but I also don't have a lot of respect for establishment Democratic Party. So yeah, local government is like where things get interesting though, because like people are still people at the local level. So yeah, that's my spiel on that. I'm also going to be doing another alphabet project video soon, and the word I've chosen for that is the word bold. So I haven't written it yet or anything. I like just came up with the word last night because I was struggling a lot with a B word that would kind of fit with what I wanted to do with the alphabet project. And the alphabet project videos take a lot of time for me to shoot and kind of plan because like I write the script and then I like kind of make a shot list and then adjust accordingly, you know, after I've shot everything. Oh, thank you so much, Gemma. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, it's been an hour now, so if you gotta go, you gotta go. I understand. But thank you for being here and joining me. You asked some great questions. Yeah, again, it like means so much to me that I've hit 500 subscribers, and it's just really, it's really heartening. I'm really happy about it. And like the fact that like I hit 500 subscribers and I was like, all right, I'm probably gonna do a live stream. And then like by the time the live stream happened, I got 19 more subscribers is like crazy to me. So thank you all so much for being here. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe 10 more minutes. Yeah, so like that's kind of what I'm looking forward to in terms of my channel and what's going on there. Yeah, and oh, there's this. This video is kind of a pipe dream of mine, but it's called like it's on the list, so it'll happen eventually. But who really knows? It's a video called Bollywood Movies That Pass the Bechdel Test. And basically it means I would have to, you know, watch Bollywood movies and like really watch them to see if they pass the Bechdel test or not, which a lot of them surprisingly do. I think I came up with the idea when Dear Zindagi passed the test in an interesting way, which was the main character, who's female, was talking to her kind of servant slash housekeeper person. So it was great. You were working from home and watching these. Oh, I'm glad I could add to your day. Yeah, probably winding it down right now. Yeah, so I'm super excited about Bollywood movies that pass the Bechdel test, which will happen eventually. Who really knows? I think I'm just gonna like kind of like let that one sit for a while, and like as I watch Bollywood movies, I'll probably like create a list on Google Keep or whatever, and like just keep adding to the list until I have enough so that I can talk about interesting things that like interesting ways that it happens. Yeah, the Bollywood video sounds amazing. Thank you. Thanks, Omar. I'm glad you think so because I was super excited when I came up with the idea. And then there's like, so if you guys didn't really watch Dear December that much, I made a video. Thanks, Shilpa. If you didn't know, I made a video about the song. No, not the song. Yeah, I made a video about Wait For It and the line Death Doesn't Discriminate during Dear December, and I kind of want to make more Hamilton videos because I'm a basic person in this basic world living in New York, the greatest city in the world. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to make a video talking about how Aaron Burr is coded as female throughout the show, and kind of how, and basically write an English paper about Hamilton and him being coded as female, because it's just such an interesting topic and have so much to say about it. But like, I need to just get my thoughts organized. Yeah. And then, yeah, I have like, there's just this one line in this list called Popular from Wicked and Liberals. So like the song Popular from Wicked versus like kind of liberals, like mainly like white liberals and how they act with their white savior complex and all that. Because basically Galinda is a white liberal and a white feminist, basically. So I kind of like wanted to like deepen that comparison a little bit. So yeah, got a lot of interesting videos coming out eventually. Yeah, and of course I'm going to be making a Road to Nerd Criteria video eventually. And I also want to like make a deeper review of the book I'm Not Ashamed, which I don't watch. Oh no, Dear Zindagi is not. Watch Dear Zindagi. Watch. Oh my God, please watch Dear Zindagi, Shilpa. It's not bad at all. It's a really great movie about mental health, and Shah Rukh is actually good in it. Yeah, I could not watch Fan, like ever. Fan sounds absolutely terrible, and I really could not bring myself to watch that movie as much as I love Shah Rukh. But Dear Zindagi is so worth it. It's Shah Rukh's not even a main character. He's a side character. Alia is the main character. And if you've seen Highway, you know how good she can be. And like, it's so worth it to watch that movie. Like, even if you don't watch Bollywood typically, it's not your typical Bollywood movie at all, because it's by the same director as English Finglish too. So it's that kind of sensibility. It's the same sensibility as English Finglish, where it's kind of it just like, it's not a quiet movie. What's the word I'm trying to find? It's just like, it doesn't do too much. It's like very to the point. It knows what it's doing and it does exactly that. And it's just a really gorgeous movie. I think, like, please watch it. If you like, don't let Fan and like the other absolute crap Shah Rukh does deter you from watching Dear Zindagi, because it is not that at all. It's just not that at all. Yeah. Yeah, I miss the good old days of Shah Rukh only doing good movies, although that was never really a thing. He always did like a couple good movies and a couple bad movies. But yeah, watch Dear Zindagi and don't like, I have so many opinions about Fan that I don't think I can talk about on camera, but and just like Shah Rukh Khan in general. But yeah, Dear Zindagi is not about Shah Rukh. It's about Alia, and it's about this director who also directed English Finglish. So watch it. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. What else? I don't know. I'm kind of talked out. This is like a lot of talking for me. I don't know if you could tell. Yeah. So like, I guess the last thing that's kind of coming up for me is that Kelly and I want to do a podcast ourselves. Maybe eventually it might happen. Who really knows? And we're thinking of talking about like young adult literature in it. So could be good if it happens. Because like all Kelly and I do when we're together is talk. Like, we have difficulty doing anything but talking. So we were, and like every time we meet up recently, we're just like, we should start a podcast. Like, why don't we start a podcast? It just makes total sense to start a podcast because all we do is talk. So that may be happening in the future, eventually, in 2017, hopefully. So, Finding Joseph I. Okay, I'm gonna type that in right now so I don't remember. Finding Joseph I. Okay. I'm gonna read that and I'll get back to you. Yes, thank you. Interesting. history of rock and roll. That's like the first thing that shows up on Google, but that sounds really cool. I saw this movie recently for class about hip hop and science fiction and kind of how they work together, and like mostly talking about Parliament. So yeah, that sounds totally up my alley. I love reading about like music and music history. So yeah, that sounds awesome. That's exciting. All right. Well, I think this is the end of my first ever live show. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. It was really great to have you, and thank you for asking questions. I was like the whole time, like in planning this, I was like, but what if no one comes? What if no one shows up? What if no one asks questions? That'll be really sad. But who's the, oh, very cool, first Black Punk fan. Oh, you know who's probably read this? My professor. He's really into punk and stuff, so I'll talk. That'll be fun to talk about with him. But thanks for the recommendation. I'll definitely read it. But yes, thank you so much for joining me, all of you. It was really great talking to you for like an hour and 10 minutes and just like hanging out with you. This was a really great time. I'm planning on making like a hangout like this for Patreon supporters. If you want to support me on Patreon, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you want to support me on Patreon, that would be great. But otherwise, thank you so much. If I hit 600 eventually, I'll probably do another one. But I'm clearly losing my voice, and I guess I will see you next time. All right. Bye. Stop.